Hello, everyone. My name is Rafal, and I would like to welcome everyone to my Headshot Photography podcast. Today, I have very special guest, someone I was very interested to talk to, Nafis. He's the CEO of a company, Headshot AI, and he is actually currently working on developing AI model to creating AI headshots for clients. And before we jump into this, we had a brief conversation prior. We went live, and also we had one meeting before a while ago, and then we have some interesting conversation about this entire new software which is up and rising. There is the future of, I would say, headshot photography. And I just want to say big thank you for, first of all, accepting my invitation, because this is extremely important, and I know a lot of photographers have tons of questions about how this even come to existence, what's the process. So I'm guessing I'm talking to the right person, because you are the person who understands this more than everybody else. And I have tons of questions. I would love to have some open conversation about this topic. So thank you for joining the podcast, and basically coming to this show and talk about artificial AI headshots. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Rafael. It's really nice to talk with you again. And the last meeting was really amazing, and I'm really looking forward to our conversations today.
Perfect. So let's dive in to this whole topic. And before we jump into some more kind of technical questions, please tell me, how did you even get into this industry? Because we've been talking a little bit about it. You share with me your story, but if you could share a little bit more, how you even got into this AI headshot thing, and what was the process? Because I was kind of surprised when you told me that you've been working on this for a very long time. It's not just something happened over the weekend. It's something you've been developing for many, many years. You also mentioned that you have some scientists who also work on this. You work on this AI model for quite some time. So can you share me a little bit more story? How did you even get into this whole thing?
Yeah, sure. So I used to work for a big corporations, and we used to work remotely, though we have a hybrid mode. And I have been working with a couple of my colleagues. And once I went to an office, and the funny story, those guy was working just right beside me, but I never seen them before because we have a team directory, we have Slack, but there was no photos of them,
Mhm.
and also there was no photos of mine. So the funny thing, when I go there, I started working with them, and we have been like working alone because no one is talking, no one is know anyone. So it was a bit awkward. We have been looking to each other, but we never started our conversations. And somehow there's a guy who started talking with another guy, um, and I recognized the voice, and I says, "Oh my gosh, this is the guy I have been working for 2 years, and I never like seen him, and this is the guy." So
Mhm.
that was the story. Like, okay, there is something is missing in that space. Like, why we don't have a photos? And I know that I'm a like camera shy guy. Probably I'm not taking a lot of photos, but what's like wrong with others? Why they don't have the photos? And I start digging into this problem. I start talking with a lot of people. I have a managers who also have been working for almost 25 years. He also doesn't have any photos on these Slack channels. I was wondering, okay, what's wrong really? And
Mhm.
then I look for solutions, because what I found that there's a lot of companies out there, they are struggling to hire a professional photographer all the time, because there's a lot of new hires, right?
Mhm.
And they're all the time like looking for a new photographer. That will also take a lot of time for them. And they was wondering, okay, so probably in a team meetings in a year, once or twice they have something like that. However, they don't have it very frequently, and whenever a new team member coming into the team, uh, they mostly don't have the photos that they would have to have for their team or Slack channels. um,
Mhm.
that's basically triggered me, okay, there should be better solutions. And I have AI background. I have been developing a lot of AI models from my high schools.
Hmm.
So I was also working with some diffusion model, and I was like really stunned by this mid journey AI generative photos capabilities, and I was thinking, okay, there should be like solutions for AI headshots, and that's how it started.
Hmm. So tell me, because I have no idea, like how this whole thing even work. Can you tell me or share? I don't know if this is secret or not, but how does even model work? Like, like how is the process of creating this? This is because you said, well, because AI model, it's something which kind of is in it's a general term. But can you
Mhm.
tell me a little bit more how this even work? Because like I know there's certain process, because I had a chance to test a little bit your software, and then you have to upload some images, and based on that there is some magic happens somewhere in the cloud or space or somewhere where the AI is kind of creating those headshots. So can you tell me a little bit more about those technicalities, like how this whole thing even work from your perspective? Because I think most photographers have no even idea how this process even work, and then how this model is created.
Yeah, sure. So I think I wouldn't go deeper, really very technical in this point. I will
Hmm.
try to simplify as much as I can.
Sure.
So
Oh, absolutely.
uh, so basically, we have an AI model that is our base AI model. So we build this model to train. Let's say based on the training, a lot of data. We have a lot of um, photos that we annotate. We extract the features, we extract the expressions, we extract the lightning and everything. So
Hmm.
then we build an AI model that can reproduce or like recreate those sort of environment.
Hmm.
So in that case, we have a lot of like good data sources from a lot of organizations, a lot of different agency who are like basically selling data.
Hmm.
They of course have the rights to sell those data. And then we took those data, annotate those data,
Hmm.
train a AI model. And now the way our headshot will work is when users are uploading the photos of themselves, this AI is trying to extract all these features, these expressions,
Hmm.
this background light, how it should be reflect on this whole frame. So basically, what our AI is doing right now, based on those training, is try to clone and replicate those scenario for the new faces or new persons who will be training a new model.
Okay. So what is the biggest challenge you've noticed over, when you start working on this AI model? Like, what was the biggest challenge when you start kind of, because like I've noticed when I actually tested, and we talk a little bit about it, that there is some hits and there's some misses, right? So it
Yeah.
seems like it's not consistent. So it's like I know
Mhm.
there's a lot of guessing, and the AI is trying to make this work somehow, and sometimes
Yeah.
it works, sometimes it doesn't. So what
Yeah.
was, in your opinion, one of the biggest challenges whenever you start, whenever the AI start creating those headshots?
Yeah, so the first challenge was for us to get a good data set, because all the
Hmm.
AI model that we are seeing right now, because it's so good, because it has a lot of good training data.
Hmm.
That was the biggest challenge for us. And of course, the data we are getting from, let's say, some company, that must have to be like the data that we can use for a massive scale, or like that those data have the proper rights to use it for
Hmm.
AI training. So that was the biggest challenge for us. Then the next challenge was like annotating those data, because whenever we start annotating the data, it was so hard for us to find the right persons, because there has like couple of like good photographers who was working with us. However,
Hmm.
not every. However, we didn't have a lot of fund in the beginning, so we couldn't hire a lot of world class photographer. So what we did, we partnership with a lot of good photographers. They teach us how we should annotate the data, how we should extract those features of those images, and then we start training those AI model. And then it was a lot of like trial and error, and then we finally got in a position that it's recreate those models, recreate those expressions, recreate those background and whatnot. Yes, we agree. Still, our AI is not 100% perfect. There is a lot of scenario, as you mentioned, that is not very consistent sometimes. So the reasons it's not very consistent is what we found that it's mainly depend on the input data. Uh,
Mhm.
so whenever a users are uploading, let's say, just their headshot, not their full body shot. So in that case, our AI doesn't have the knowledge how that person's really looks like. It tried to guess the full body, but as you understand, it's not perfect.
Mhm.
It cannot replicate the 100% accurately how that person looks like based on the headshot. Though if you are like if users are upload like a full body shots, some cases it also misses those cloning those accurate body features, but we found that around like 70 to 80% times it can clone.
Mhm. So let me kind of dive a little bit more deeper into this because I'm going to speak based on like the headshot photography kind of
Mm.
standpoint. And one of the biggest elements of headshots is the face expression. And as you probably know that stuff, that there is some main face expressions and there's kind of the other ones which are called micro face expressions. And there's like 10 of thousands of them, right?
Yeah.
um and those are like very very specific where humans they're not even able to control it, right? They just kind of
Yeah.
happens automatically based on how we feel, how we kind of like what kind of mood we are. There's also transition from one face expression to another where we're throwing that.
Yeah.
And if there is someone who like specialized in this kind of headshot photography, can really easily recognize them, right? So what I'm trying to say, like you look at the image and you automatically, okay, you know what, there is something there interesting. There's face expressions which really is appealing. There's something
Yeah.
telling me, and I'm kind of like, so how you guys training the model so to recognize those microface expressions and those very small nuances in the face, in the human face, which are very is dynamic. There's so many things happening, and can pick up those ones which are right and which is wrong. Because like one of the things what I've noticed when I play with your software, that the face
Hmm.
expressions were basically the ones which I put it in, right? So like I
Hmm.
took a
Yeah.
bunch of different um eh, I took a bunch of different images with different face expressions, and I was trying to see what the AI is gonna do with this. And I've noticed that the AI just literally took the face expressions which I gave it and then just
Hmm.
implement them into the image. So do you think in the future the AI will be able to kind of recognize those different types of face expressions and put the right ones? Or this is still in the kind of the like you guys still developing this whole thing? How this whole thing works on that end?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. So basically, whenever you are uploading these photos, those our AI is try to extract all the features, these
Hmm.
expressions, how it look like, even try to even let's say some people are wearing glasses, right? It also
Hmm.
try to replicate all those things too. Though it's not very good replicating any jewelries yet because it's a really
Hmm.
small detail. Though we are training, whenever we train the AI models, we go into deeper pixel by pixel, but it's cannot replicate because we need to develop its
More data.
more yeah, with more data, of course. um, so the way it replicate those expressions is basically s- like learning from your photos how
Hmm.
you are smiling. So that's why we always recommend to the users to upload natural expressions, some smiley, some some other
Serious
type
one.
of, so that yeah,
Hmm.
serious mode, so that they can so that AI can like learn from those photos and it can replicate how that persons will be smiling or have a different expressions in the photos.
Perfect. So can you tell me, like, do you see progress with the, like, since you start developing this model? that
Yeah.
the AI can a little bit better control those face expression, or this is something which is still challenging for AI to kind of recognize and make it work?
It's getting better and better day by day,
Hmm.
and it also learning from the data we are training, like every single time it's learning from its data. uh, for example, let's say 1 years ago, this AI photo was looks like completely animated photos, not
Hmm.
realistic. Now sometimes even for us, um, some like we even struggle sometimes to recognize this is AI created or this is a real photo. So of course, this AI is getting better and better every
Hmm.
single time. And the way this generative AI working right now and improving exponentially, it's pretty amazing. And I could say that the futures of AI photography is really exciting,
Hmm.
and this AI would be able to clone really perfectly at some point
Hmm.
expressions and every single details from our facial expressions and whatnot.
Okay, so let's kind of unpack this even more, because I like to kind of start kind of dwelling on things from different angles. So in the current situation, and the state where we are right now with developing this AI
Yeah.
model, so what do you think there are advantages of creating AI headshots, and what are the limitations based on the way you look at it?
Mm, I can go for like in a scenario in business cases, what's the
Sure.
advantages?
Yeah, go for it.
Uh,
Yeah, let's discuss.
so as I mentioned, like there's a lot of small businesses.
Hmm.
There's a lot of SMEs. So the problem they have, like they don't have a really big budget for every single individual hire to have a like a professional photo shoots, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes they have some partnerships with photographer, but not every single times. On average, like what we found, it cost around $150 to sometimes $500.
Hmm.
So in business point of view, they're spending a really less amount of money. Let's say it's 90% cheaper when it comes to AI photography,
Hmm.
and they are not spending their work hours to set up a photo sessions with a photographer, and they don't have to travel anywhere,
Hmm.
and they will have 100 plus variations of photos. That's the
Hmm.
business advantage.
Yes.
Uh, but for the photographer, it also creating a lot of advantage too. It's not like their our AI photographer or any kind of AI photographer is photography is replacing any professionals, because you AI is very advanced right now, but it's cannot like you know like clone like very detailed of 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 the persons. Like for
Mhm.
example, let's say uh some people want to use those photos for a book cover or
Mhm.
for a big banners, something like that. In
Mhm.
that case, this AI is not quite there yet to
Mhm.
clone exactly every details of that persons, and it's really struggling when you want to create a really high quality photos.
Mhm. Yeah, and then I'm glad you're saying that, because like I think, well, from one hand, what the way I see it, it's a some kind of progress, right? The AI still has a lot of flaws which needs to be worked on, but it's getting there, right?
Yeah, it's getting
One of
there.
the things, yeah, is getting there. Oh, absolutely. And I'm not kind of kind of trying to say that, oh, it's kind of stuck somewhere, because even this stuff, the way I do, because photographers using AI these days, right? Like
Mm.
the
Yeah,
generative fill in Photoshop. But what is interesting for me, whenever you say AI, people kind of react differently, right? Because we, as a photographers, like we used to retouch images, we used to do all sorts of different things to make those images looks better. Now we will have different tools such as AI, which can really do this quicker, more efficient, and in the way that it's not recognized that was kind of like done by AI. But it's still in the kind of development time where I think it's still a lot of work which needs to be done to get there, to get to the point where
yeah,
can really do flawless work.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is, and then this is something which kind of is concern from a lot of photographers, and that's how they kind of like approach this. And I want to hear your opinion on this, like how you look at this whole thing from the ethical kind of perspective, because like I've noticed, for example, especially if the AI doesn't have the full data, and
Mm-hmm.
create something which it's fake, it's just made up
Yeah.
by AI just to make it look properly.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, like when I put my images and I didn't put any full body shots, right? I just was
Yeah.
like wondering what the AI is going to do, and the AI created like really stunning shots of me, in kind of like amazing suit, perfect body. Everything was kind of like top notch. I'm like, oh my god, like I wish I could look like this, right? But at the same time, it kind of looks good when you look at it. But from the ethical perspective, if I put something out like this, it's kind of lying to the world. This is the way I look, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how your company kind of approaches this ethical perspective, from ethical perspective, if this is right to do that, or you think that the AI still needs to have some kind of like more information. So for example, like you upload your images and the AI can
Yeah.
say, what, I cannot add your body
Mm-hmm.
to you because I don't have that information, and it would be unethical to kind of create something which doesn't represent you the proper way. So how you guys deal with something like this? Because I think this is one of the most biggest questions photographers are asking,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where we can draw the line,
Mm-hmm.
if we're doing this for fun, like like we can do some stuff just for fun, that's a different story. But when we, let's say, representing company, and then you
Mm-hmm.
creating some kind of image like this, and it's just half of this is made up and it's not real, if this is ethical for the company to do this or not, and how your company can kind of like look at it from and say, hey, you know what, this is what we're going to do, and this is how this whole thing is going to work in the future. So I just want to know your opinion on this topic.
Yeah, that's a very great question. So, um, well, we're trying to solve this problem in two different way right now. One is like, because when we are putting this technology out in the market, we
Hmm.
sort of have the control, of course, but there is a lot of things that could be go wrong, right? Uh,
Hmm.
for example, let's say someone could take someone's photos and train an AI model, and they could use those photos in a bad way, right?
Hmm.
So what we did in that what we did is like, uh, what we found most of the cases, like from the case studies and the research and whatnot, that there is like a lot of scenario people are trying to create celebrities nude photos, or sort of photos that could, like, really create uncomfortable situations for a lot of peoples. So we implement safeguard uh, um, in our AI, so that they can't create those type of photos. Even they
Hmm.
cannot manipulate it. If you're familiar with this chat GPT manipulations, or like Gen AI manipulations, that I want to create something bad, but I can manipulate these generative AI models. But we are also working on it so that people cannot manipulate even those
Hmm.
and can't create those type of photos. And the second point, that still our AI sometimes create, let's say, full body shots, though the users didn't upload any full body shots. So in that case, those body are fake, right? Because it's not creating not creating from the original's body, and it
Hmm.
doesn't have that data. So we're trying to, like, also implement a safeguard. Like right now what we have is, like, if you upload only headshots, because we have like instructions before uploading or training any models, like, you must have to upload the full body shots. You also have to upload this like headshots. It sometimes it like, we have the preference for the users can pick this, like, if they want to have a headshots or like full body shots.
Hmm.
Based on that, our AI is recurring those data. And how we are solving this problem behind the scene, whenever users are uploading those data, if you selected that you want to just headshot, not a full body shots, then
Hmm.
our AI is recognize all of your photos, uh, and try to get all the ideas, like if you have the full body shots or not. If you don't have the full body shot but you want to have a full body shots from this AI, it will give you the warning and give you the push. Okay, you have to upload a full body shot so that I can learn from how you looks like in a real life.
Hmm. Perfect. Okay, so let's kind of go a little bit even deeper on this.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, do you think that at some point
Hmm.
AI will be able to completely replace, experience and working with photographers? So, like, you can just take bunch of selfies or whatever, and then, the AI will be able to create images which they're gonna literally kind of showcase truly who you are,
Hmm.
uh, kind of take all those elements as you said apart, and then just put this whole thing back together in a way that it looks kind of,
Yeah.
professional and looks
Mhm.
perfect. And it's also from ethical perspective, it's not going to be concerned. Do you think we're going to get there? And then if we will, and I'm guessing we will, what is the time frame you think we're going to get there?
um it's sometimes really hard to predict,
Hmm.
but I would
But your
say.
guess, like, as someone who's developing this, because you've seen this whole thing. So let me start with like how long you've been working on this. Let's start with that.
So I have been working on this for more than 3 years now.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so it's been a while. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's been a while, and before our AI couldn't even create so realistic photos. Uh,
Hmm.
like the photos it used to create is kind of like animated, and all the outfit it was like put on the body, it was also like animated.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
from that we come to the point that the photos looks really realistic, like
Mhm.
uh, because you are the photographer, you have a the eye of seeing the details in the photos. But most of the case, like let's say for the general users, no one can even like detect, okay, which one is AI and which one is real.
Hmm.
But back to your point, that you're asking when we will see that AI can create the photos like the photographers like you, or photographers like the world class photographers. So I think um, it will be happen sooner or later, probably in the next 3 to 5 years.
Hmm.
However, I don't believe that AI can replace the real photographer experience. I don't believe
Hmm.
that, because the
Hmm.
real photography experience, like I also have a couple of photo sessions with real photographer to experience how it's
They work.
it's work. And I would say that whenever I upload the photos on our software or our apps or whatever it is, I don't get that feelings. I'm doing it because I cannot go to a real photographer every single month, because I need a lot of photos to create my LinkedIn post, my YouTube thumbnail and whatnot, right? Uh, but uh, I think I have some problem with my internet. I just
Yeah, yeah. No, you're back.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. It's all good. We'll edit this stuff, so don't worry. It's all good. We can continue.
Okay. So yeah, that's what the things I was saying. It's irreplaceable, completely irreplaceable of real photography experience.
Hmm. So, do you think would be like a good idea? Well, not a good idea, but I think having, let's say, working with photographer to providing those, good shots, and then feeding AI to give it, okay, this is something I have, this is good stuff, and then AI can kind of extract that and just kind of create some options, more options for individual, for, as you said, like, because I agree with you, like, we need, especially nowadays with social media, and then this constant battle of more and more content. As you said, going to photographer every week is literally impossible, and having this as an option, that okay, I have these great shots and I can utilize them by having AI to create more based on what I have. Um, that would just give me, let's say, more images which I can
Yeah.
use for whatever I do. Yeah, you know what, I 100% agree with this. And then and again, because I'm using AI on a daily
Hmm.
basis for
Hmm.
retouching, and then this is
Hmm.
amazing what AI can do nowadays. The same background replacement, like, I know there's also a lot of interesting conversations, because back in the days we used to have couple different backgrounds which costs fortune, and now we
Hmm.
can literally use all sorts of different type of backgrounds, and take those images to completely different level. So AI, it's already here, and it's just kind of knocking on every door, and especially in photography. And the same I found, and I can tell you my experiences, because this is also interesting. I have this client who came completely
Hmm.
unprepared for the session, and he had to do it because he was in Calgary for just only one day, and then he had to
Hmm.
just go to the different city.
Hmm.
And like, we replaced literally entire wardrobe. I was fighting with this, if this is ethical or not, but like, when I saw the results, I was just like, holy smokes, like, that's amazing what we are able to do. And save me a little bit too, right? Because if I
Yeah.
couldn't do it, the session would be lost.
Yeah.
um and I
Yeah.
couldn't basically take the shots. But because
Yeah.
of AI, and I was able to put that in, the client was happy, I was happy, and everything kind
Yeah.
of, so AI can be very handy sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
What?
something. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we also found, that there's a lot of like professionals photographer who are taking a bunch of photos in a photo sessions, and they're offering more photos to the clients. Like before, their clients used to got, let's say, 5 to 7 or 10 different variations of photos. Now they're getting like 50 plus variations of photos, because now this photographer can recreate the scenario in indoor, outdoor, office, and different type of cases. So it's pretty amazing, like how uh, people are using it, how photographer are using it.
Yeah, I think, you know what, and I agree with you. And I think this is just a new era, and then we have to get used to
Yeah.
it, right? That's
Yeah.
that's one of
Yeah.
the biggest challenges. And I've noticed that a lot of photographers out there, they're just terrified because it's new. I remember when the digital photography was introduced, and then people were kicking and screaming that film never will be replaced. This is whole digital era is going to die very soon. And after
Hmm.
5 6 years, everyone kind of adopt to it, right? Everyone kind of understand how it works, how many advantages we have and how easy it is. And I think it's exactly the same scenario right now with AI. It's just a bunch of different new tools which can
Yeah.
really elevate what do we do, speed up the
Yeah.
process, create something more creative, and something that really can help us with even with our business, and everything. What do we do? So,
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry to interrupt. So I wanna like
no, that's
share
good.
one more story that you was talking about. We was talking about this experience of a real photographer, right? So we had a plan to like build a AI model that can recreate this this pregnancy moments, and then other this baby showers and whatnot, like. So and
Mhm,
then when I dig into the problem, like I realize, well, like this is sort of things I really don't want to create an AI model for it, because I want to
mhm.
experience it. it's
Yes.
it's not about it's not like the moment that it comes every single time or every single week or every single day, right? It's such a precious moment that we'll be like have it in our life maybe once, twice, or three, or couple of times. So
Mhm,
in that case, I want to give that experience to the people, or like I want to experience it from my point of view. I want to experience that. I want to experience
mm,
that with my family. So uh as you said, I believe that real photography experience, it's irreplaceable. And whenever I go to the real photography or a real photographer or in studio, I feel a lot of, like, fun and joy moment, and those stories really matters, and those experience really matters.
Absolutely. So tell me about, like, in general, what's the future of this whole software? Because, like, as you said, you've been working on this for the last 3 years. So now you see there's more challenges or is less challenges, or it's just a matter of feeding this model with with more data, so the model can kind of do things better. How you kind of look at this from 3 years of working on this, if this is the process is speeding up or is slowing down or is steady, where we are with this whole thing.
It's spreading up a lot,
Mm-hmm.
compared to 3 years ago, what we had, and what was the, like right now there's a lot of research going on generative AI. The growth of generative AI models or other sort of models, it's like crazy. Now people take AI very seriously. Still, there are a lot of people who are like complaining and talking about AI. It's a bubble, it will burst someday. But the AI is real, so we have to adopt it. Yes, there's a lot of scenario where overemphasize that AI is taking our job and this and that. But what I found, that most of the case, all my friends or these other colleagues, whoever using AI, their productivity are getting like 60-70% higher than what they could use to do. So
Mm-hmm.
they must have to adapt. The development AI is speeding up, compared to 3 years ago what we had. It's become really crazy. Even for sometimes for me, I cannot even keep up to date with all these updates and the things going on in this industry.
Hmm. So tell me a little bit more, because I know, like, your company is not the only one which working on it, right? There's a bunch of other companies. So
Yeah.
how this industry looks from kind of your end, and what I mean by that, like, so let me kind of give you a little bit of story. I remember when I started photography, photographers didn't like to share anything, right? Everyone has kind of own kind of thing going on, and they're living in his own bubble, and if they discovered something interesting, they were like holding to themselves because they knew if someone grabs it, they're going to use it and it's going to kind of work against them, right? So how this whole thing works in AI industry, like, are you guys sharing the data, or are you guys talking to each other, are you guys, like, sharing experiences, or are you guys feeding the models within each other, within the system, just so the AI can really progress? How does this work? It's a cutthroat industry, or are you guys collaborating with each other?
Well, there's a lot of open source research going on right now,
Hmm.
uh, but none of the company, let's say, focused on headshot or any other AI model that's close, like us, are not sharing any data because that is completely
Hmm.
illegal.
Okay.
And also, like, whenever we are, like, for example, I don't know about others, but whenever users are coming to our platform and uploading the data, we are not storing any input data. We deleted those data after training our AI models. And the difference between our platform versus others is we are not creating a one single generic AI models.
Hmm.
Um, so every single time we are creating a very specific AI models for the particular user. So in that case, our AI only knows about, let's say, you are uploading your photos, you are training your AI models, and our AI only knows about you. Our AI doesn't have any other um, like ideas whenever we are connecting with our pipeline, that okay, what others people look like. Whenever you are writing something or whenever you try to create a photos, it will be always creating your photos, because those that AI model is created only for you. Even we don't have the access of that AI models. uh,
Hmm.
Also, the things we did is, if anyone wants to delete the models after having photos, they can delete it. They don't even have to contact with us. So yeah. Regarding the sharing of the knowledge, yes, of course, we are sharing the knowledge, how we are making progress, what we can do better. We are writing a lot of articles, a lot of papers.
Hmm.
So because of those collaborations, because of those, like open knowledge, we are able to accelerate our growth really quickly in AI models. Otherwise, it would be so hard because there's a lot of open source model. There's a lot of open source papers that we are referring whenever we build a new system, or whenever we try to new approach to improve our AI models.
Hmm. Perfect. So tell me a little bit more. I would like to know just the kind of in general, if you would like to share with this, because you guys have this model already up for use, right? So people can
Yeah.
join it, people can test it, try it, see how this whole thing works. So what is the feedback you guys getting? Are you guys getting clients who are mostly happy? Are you guys having, like, some people that are not happy with the results? Like I'm not asking to share, like, very specific details, but are you
Mhm.
guys getting, like, kind of mixed up feedback, or what is the biggest thing people kind of like, I'm not saying complaining about, but what is the biggest thing that people resisting?
So far, what we the feedback we are getting in every single time from the users, they are really quite amazed whenever they see the photos, and their reaction is like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?"
Hmm.
So they're writing a lot of emails to us, like, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe like what just happened. Because I know this is me, but I cannot believe like I look like this and I could have such photos.
Hmm.
um and there is also a couple of users who are like literally making fan made videos. Like, they loved it so much because they're creating a lot of contents, and they used to struggle a lot to have a lot of different variations of photos. They used to use one single photos again and again and again. Now they have a lot of variations, and they're super happy about it. And there are some users like, um they are like let's say 70% happy, because they're expecting that that AI could clone exactly 100%, 100% of every single features of their facial expressions, their hairs, and whatnot. But the problem, what we found, because whenever anyone complained to us, like, okay, I'm not happy, and then we understand, like, of course, this AI, there's a lot of flaws.
Hmm.
It's not perfect. So we dig into the problem, and we are asking all the time, okay, what's the photo you was using? If you don't mind, can you please share? And what we found, that most of the people who are complaining about the output, they didn't follow the photo guidance, because we have a very strict photo guidelines that if you follow, then you will have around, like, as I said, like 70 to 80% or 90% really good photos from the selfies, of course.
Hmm.
But if you have a real photo sessions with a photographer, have a very good lighting in your photo, a good background, different attires, then the output of the AI it will give you, it's really insane.
Hmm.
Um, because like AI is learning from those photos, and when AI has a really good qualities of data, I mean photos, then AI can recreate a really great photos.
Hmm. Like, I never thought about it, but like now, right, like really hit me that, as you said, the better data you provide, the better results you're going to get. And it's kind of like obvious, right? It's not some kind
Yeah,
of rocket science.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah. So that's something that people also have to consider, that, like, in order to get good results, you have to feed it with the proper images, and then good lighting and good face expression. So there's
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because this AI
Uh,
doesn't know about you, and you are the responsible you are the responsible guy, or the
yeah.
persons to teach AI how you look like.
Yeah. So, on that topic, if you could just maybe, why don't we talk a little bit more how this even work, right? So let's talk about your software. So how this works. So, you plug it in, you open the website, you log it in, you have to just make some kind of, like, commitment with, because I know there's three different options to different packages, but let's kind
Mhm.
of pass that. Let's say you choose something. So what's next? If you could just kind of explain to people who are listening how this whole thing works. So you getting kind of access to some kind of page where you have to upload your images. So let's talk a little bit about this entire process, creating those headshots. If you could just explain from the customer perspective, and if you could share that.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Can I share my screen? I think that would be easier
Yeah,
to explain the thing.
absolutely. Why don't we do that?
Um, okay, let's do it. So video image
You have to go to present
screen.
and then just share this.
Okay, enter my screen. Okay, great. Okay, so it's very simple.
Hmm.
So what we are doing is, uh, for the training AI models, users have to log into our platform, and then they have to pick a like package based on their needs. We have multiple packages to train multiple different multiple persons, and the training process is really simple. And the way we are doing is like you have to click on the training new models, and then you have to select your gender and your like what type of photos you want to create, because there's a lot of content creators who are using Headshotly and they want to create a lot of fun photos. So for them we have a creative mode, but let's talk about professionals. So
Hmm.
we are more focused on professionals. As you can see that this system already automatically detect that I'm looking for a corporate headshots, because my like when I came to this when I log into this platform, I was checking these photos, those corporate from the corporate pages.
Hmm.
But if you don't want to have corporate photos, you want to have a different photos, you can search for it. And this search box, it's a AI search box. It's really advanced. So even if you don't have the professions in here, it can still understand what type of professions it is, and then it can learn from the photos you're gonna upload, like in a step 5. So in that case, I will let's just select let's say corporate photos, and I can select my hairstyle. I can skip it if I want, and then I have to
Hmm.
give a photo session name. So in that case, Nafis, and then I will continue. And there is the photo guidelines that I was talking about. So the
Hmm.
photos must have to really like have a different variations of photos. Then this AI can understand, okay, this person have how the person like smile, the natural expressions, the serious mood and whatnot. And we're always recommended to avoid this blurry photos, group photos, because when you have a group photos in your frame, this AI, because as I said, this AI is extract all the facial details from this frame, and if there is a different people in the frame, then AI could get confused. um,
Hmm.
and after that you have to upload the photos, and after our AI will learn from those photos and train the AI models for you, and it will be send you a notifications that your AI model is ready, and it takes only 10 minutes to
Hmm.
train these AI models. And after that, um, the our AI will learn from that uh, photos, and then it will create automatically 50 or sometimes 100 photos based on the subscriptions. So this is my
Hmm.
friends that I trained, and
Hmm.
this is the photos that our AI created for her. And
Hmm.
as you can see, most of the photos here are headshot, because when we trained these models, my friend didn't upload any full body shot photos. So that's why
Hmm.
this AI is created most of the like majority of the photos in a headshot, not in a full body shots.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what
also.
kind of resolutions they coming up? Like, so they coming low resolution, high resolution. So it also depends what resolution images you upload. So what kind of quality of images you're getting? Because this is also like I see the all squares, right?
Mhm.
Are can you get like different crops and then okay.
Yeah. So whenever we train the AI models, AI model can create a different variations of photos. It depends like what type of framing they want.
Mm-hmm.
uh, though let's say most of the case what we found that in content creators or like other professionals, they want to create a custom photos, because this
Mm-hmm.
AI photos is like mostly very professionals backgrounds and attires. So they want to create a
Mm-hmm.
different type of photos. They can write a different prompt. So what we found that there's a lot of people who are like unable to write a good prompt, And that's why we have the AI prompt writer. They can take the inspirations, okay, this is the prompt and that's how it should be written. Or whenever even they can write the prompt and they can click this prompt enhancer.
Mhm.
This prompt enhancer will like enhance this prompt. And if you notice, like it's giving the instructions to AI that it should be portrayed 1:4, and then this hyper realistics, this professional photography, then the lens, this lighting, and the background, and those type of details, right?
Mhm.
And then you can select multiple outputs, and you can select also different type of ratio. So in that case, I can select this 9:16 ratio, and if I click on the create your profession headshot, this AI will now read this prompt, and then it will recreate uh, based on the instructions that you are providing on this prompt.
Mhm. So I have a question for you. So let's say there's let's say image which I really like technically.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
good face expression, but let's say I don't like the background. Can you take specific image and just kind of work with it just to kind of, so I found, let's say, one image which I really like, and then I
Hmm.
want to enhance it because I want a different background, or I want to, I don't know, different attire. Is that possible to do, that you can take specific image and just kind of keep working on it till to get the results you're really looking for?
Absolutely. So, for
Okay.
example, let's say now we have these photos, and if I now try to, like, let's say, edit these photos, let I want to change the different background or different attires. I cannot do it because I didn't assign any photo IDs to these AI models. But if I assign a photo IDs, let's say it could be any random numbers, and then if I again um, create a photos, then it will be able to uh, like track that photos. And you can change the background, you can change the outfit, you can change the expressions, whatever you want. So how it's work is basically uh, you have to assign a photo ID before even creating any photos. Then if you assign the photo IDs, it will remember that, okay, I have to keep the consistency of this frame, and I just have to some little bit changes on the background or attires or something like that. For example, let's say if I want to have a different outfit for now, so let's say red outfit.
Hmm.
Hopefully this AI will be recreate these photos with the red outfit.
Hmm.
Um, it will be able to do it because it knows that, okay, I have the photo ID and user are asking to change uh, the outfit of these particular photos.
Hmm.
So now here we go. So we have the background, and it's now created a different outfit.
So what about face expression? So the outfit is in one story, but let's say I like the image, for example, this one which you showed me with the red outfit, but I can say, hey, you know what? I don't like the face expressions. I want to be more approachable. I want to be more happy. I want to look more, I would say, not as kind of like serious. Is that also what we can do, or this is not impossible at this point?
No, that is also very possible. So,
Okay.
for example, I can completely replace this prompt, and I can say, I want to create with happy. I want to create a photo with happy face. So then I can write the prompt enhancer. Okay, now I will click again.
Hmm. So you have a really ability to adjust those images to whatever style you like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's just a matter of prompt. So here we
Hmm.
go.
Okay. Okay, so let's put some challenge to it. Why don't we prompt it to kind of creating image more like a studio style
Studio
with
style.
professional,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
studio style with professional lighting.
Studio style with professional.
And let's maybe create also like a Rembrandt lighting, because this is more specific, and we'll see. I'm just wondering what it's going to come up with.
Uh-huh. Sorry, what type of
It's called Rembrandt lighting.
RAM plan lighting? Okay, can you please write it down? Then I can.
Okay, I'm gonna send you this.
Yeah, like you can even write me some prompt. Maybe we can try. That would be
No, no,
interesting.
yeah. Mm, mm. Okay, so let me spell it to you. Is
Yeah.
REMBRANTDT lighting.
Right, okay. This one,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So, I will in that case is still even if you make a spelling mistake, it's also all right because in the behind the scene, this AI has a like grammar fixer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the prompt, this AI after the enhancement, it's like portrait, professional setter, confident expressions. Okay, which is good. This lighting setups. Okay, professional headshot
And could you
composition.
also change the lens? Let's do 135, because that's a
130.
typical, yeah, that's typical headshot light, is headshot lens.
Okay, light and this compositions focus. Plant. Okay, let's do it. Let's have a different variations of photos. Though we are saying that this to instruct to AI that you should create 4K photos, but some like it could create, let's say, high resolutions photos, but it's definitely not 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's something. It will take some times because it's a
Sure. Yeah,
lot
yeah.
going on in the scene. I think it's failed. Okay, so I think I know why it's failed because we didn't uh, allow it, because whenever we toggle this, it's restricted only for the professionals. But
Mm-hmm.
probably now if we try again, I forgot about it. Probably it
Okay.
will be rated. No,
No, didn't catch
it's
that. I was
yeah.
just curious about the lighting, because that's one of the most popular lighting in photography,
Mhm.
which is kind of dramatic. And I was just wondering if AI is able to catch on this and then figure out um, how to kind of make this look a little bit more different. But yeah, but I'm guessing it's gonna get there, right? It's just a matter
Mhm.
of, yeah. It got a little bit, not much though, because the Rembrandt lighting is mostly where one side of the face is lit up more,
Mhm.
and then the other one
Mhm.
is a little bit on the darker side.
Mhm.
And that's why I want to kind of challenge this a little bit and see how this whole thing's gonna look like, if it's even gonna catch it. So let's see
Yeah, and I think we didn't had a lot of data
on
on
this.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's why it's
Well,
it's a.
catch that it's a window lighting. So that's okay. So that's a little bit. So just to kind of give you a little bit of story behind. So Rembrandt
Mhm.
lighting was he was just light on one side of his studio, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
one side of the face was more brighter and the other ones was getting into the shadow. And I think
Mm-hmm.
the AI pick up that part, the window lighting. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why we can really see that putting the person close to the window.
Mm-hmm.
But in the professional studio setting, you just kind of put one light on one side. But in this case, what the AI did just pick up the window side lighting.
Yeah.
So
Also,
catch
like
it a
there's a
little bit, not the
yeah.
prop. Well,
Yeah.
catch it a little bit, not the full 100% way to
Mm-hmm.
create this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
have a one more actually request for those
Yeah.
pictures.
Sure.
Can you also prompt it to kind of create professional headshot with a solid gray background? Because this is one of the most popular nowadays, or which are trendy for corporations and companies. They want to have like professional headshot with one solid background, and I want to see
Mhm.
how this whole thing is going to look like.
So this is the polished, confident, well-groomed. Let's before letting shadow shape gray background. Okay, headshots and confident and approachable. Okay, that's good. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I think I did one mistake because I assigned ID, and like as I told you, this AI is like keeping the consistency whenever you are try to different prompt. So that's
Hmm.
why we wasn't able to do it, but we can try.
Okay, let's
Let's
try it.
Yeah, but let's try with this one first, and then we'll get
Okay.
back to that. Yeah, let's see.
So when the AI is working on it, so what the resolutions, the images they coming out, what the client is getting, what kind of resolution of the image?
So it's right now delivering 4K resolutions.
Okay.
Um, but sometimes it could be it could like create a downgraded photos based on
Okay.
because if there is a photo is not the input photo is not really good qualities, then it could.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if
so
someone kind of uploads low resolution files, then
mhm.
the AI is kind of unable to push it towards high resolution ones.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try. It should create the background because the background is very common and we have a lot of data. And as you see in the previous like all the default output, there's a lot of photos with the gray background, and there's different type of
Mhm.
backgrounds.
Okay.
So yeah, as you can see, like it's still sometimes AI missing this whole thing. Like we said, please create a background, gray background photos, but it couldn't.
Hmm.
um, but mostly it like sometimes it just make the mistakes. It cannot
Hmm.
like understand like, okay, what's going on really. So let's say I will make it more simplified. Solid background, professional photo. So if I create it again.
So on that prompting thing, because this is another thing which I think is interesting nowadays, that communicating with AI, it's another kind of skill which
Yeah.
people need to kind of learn, right? And especially when it comes to, let's say, even creating those images, you
Hmm.
need to have the basic knowledge about prompts and how this whole thing works and what it is, and then how to make this properly. Because I've noticed that a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, that's why we have this prompt builder, but unfortunately I see that
Hmm.
uh, uh solid gray background uh
Professional headshot. Like, why don't we do that?
was
And also we
professional.
can do a professional tight headshot. So it's like not, it's cropped properly, which means
Professional.
it's because those ones which they, I think what was created, there were more portraits than headshots. So headshots is like literally shoulders up, right? So why don't we
Mhm.
maybe change to not to the different crop? Because I think
Mhm.
right now you have 9:16. Why don't we do 4:3
Yeah.
or
Okay. So
16:9? Let's do 16:9. I think that's going to be better.
okay. Just after this one. Okay. 16 by 9. So one more thing that we are trying to improve, that this time and this yes, it's some of the photos, it's like AI couldn't create it.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's try with 4 by 3, right?
Yep.
Four is to
Why don't we
oh,
try 16 by 9? Because that's, I
16
think
by
it's
9. Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And
16
let's
by
start
9.
over.
And what type of prompt you would like to try?
So professional headshot with gray background.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and why don't we add professional lighting to it or studio lighting?
Okay, studio quality. So I wouldn't say studio lighting, because because like there's there are a lot of variations of studio
Yes.
lighting.
No, no.
So yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
found whenever I work with AI for my in Photoshop, the more
Hmm.
general prompt I'm giving, the better results. Because if you're giving specific stuff, it's just getting lost completely.
Yes, yes, that's absolutely true. Uh, because like when, for example, let's say now we have a very simple prompt. Like whenever I clicking on this prompt enhancer, it's creating a lot of small details, and when AI is trying to replicate those details, it just lost. So we are
Hmm.
also trying to improve that in our AI model. Okay, let's try. It's pretty interesting that why I'm not able to create a gray photos, because it's good. It's the basic one.
It's the basic one, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's most clients requesting. They want to just gray background. Like in
yeah,
Canada and
yeah,
US, usually they ask for the gray background. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
yeah. See, what I said earlier, that this AI is learning from the input photos. And my friend had a lot of selfie, and she was taking photos from this angle, and like AI is even we are like instruct to AI that create a professionals looking headshot, but it still is creating photos that looks like taking selfies in
Hmm.
in most of the cases. So that's what I'm saying. So if you have a
Yeah.
like a different versions of photos, let's say a couple of photos you are taking with a like a professional's photographer, then you will have the output. It's really insane.
Hmm.
Yeah, but this tool is not applicable for those people in general. If they can go to the professionals photographer, then why they need this tool? Like they want to have this
Yeah.
tool in general. Like they don't want to go to the photographer, or they don't have the time. They just want to create a quick photo so that they can use those photos. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I think
yeah,
you know
from
what I yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
please,
go ahead.
please. No, please go ahead.
No, no. What I mean, I also think that it's great, for people even to kind of do some tests, right, and see what works best for them, right? Like
Yeah,
before they go even to photographer, hey, you know what? I'm gonna test what stuff I like, what kind of clothing I like. I think the more I think about it, there's definitely some things which people can use to their advantage. And as I said, like I'm all for it to kind of developing something like this because it's just bringing something new to the table. And then
yeah,
depends how you look at it, depends how you take advantage of it. I think that's something that it's part of AI journey, I think, at this point, right? And I
yeah,
think the fact that someone is working on it and feeding it, and then doing something that could be advantages for people in the future, I have all the respect for it. So that's the kind of my approach. Even I do this, and like I know photographers are terrified of this, that they're going to take their jobs, which based on what we said, and I agree with you that you cannot really replace the experience with working with photographer, but
yeah.
could be some additional kind of tool to help you to create more images or more interesting stuff, or if you need variety of different headshots, that definitely could be something we could use it, take advantage of it, and then kind of play with it a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like for every single case right now, it's like sorry. Uh, for example, let's say there's a lot of developers out there, right, and they're writing a
Mhm.
lot of codes. There's a lot of people who used to work in a lead generation. So what AI is doing, they're automating like 95% of their work. So that doesn't mean they are like gone from the market. So
Mhm.
what AI did is to create their job more, like flexible, more like productive.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And then even in my industry, like as I mentioned, and we talk a little bit about it, AI
yeah.
took a lot of things off my hands, which is incredible. And even like, sometimes what I've noticed recently, for example, like, some of those retouching tasks, which were
Mhm.
extremely difficult to do, like, fixing wardrobe, or fixing hair, or fixing some kind of things which went wrong on the session. We can kind of do it with the click of the mouse right now, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
back in the days I could have to spend hours and hours, like, fixing a tie and especially if there's some specific patterns or something very
Mhm.
complex. AI can really be useful for that. And like nowadays I can fix things, as I said, within seconds, where back in the days I could spend hours and hours and hours to do those things. So I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
what it's amazing, I think, with AI, first of all, can take a lot of those tasks off our hands, and we can focus on being more creative, and then do more
Mhm.
work, and then I don't know, even spend time more with family. Like, I remember
Yeah,
back in the days I used to spend hours retouching, right? Like, making
yeah,
all this thing work. Nowadays, I run this through AI, and I can have that time for myself. So that's incredible, right? So
yeah, yeah.
I want to be clear, I'm not against AI by any
No,
means.
no, no.
I
Like
think
it's
it's
amazing
amazing.
that, yeah. Sorry to interrupt. So it's amazing that how we are transforming from spending a lot of time to just remove the background, and now we're just clicking, just remove the background, and
Yes.
it's gone.
Gone. Yes, exactly, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But still, it's something new, something that people, and I think also a lot of photographers who didn't try it, they really kind of afraid of it, because this kind of like you go into the dark place where you don't really understand what you can do. But I think a
Yeah,
lot of those people who can try it and see what is capable of and what we can do with it, definitely can put us, on in the place where we feel more confident, and we can do more stuff much quicker and more efficient, right? So, but again, the stuff what you guys doing, I think it's in the next level, next step. But as we know, there's still a long way ahead. There's still a lot of learning. There's still a
yeah,
lot of things that needs to be improved. So let me
yeah.
ask you this, like, because we've gone over the hour already. But so do you guys work with photographers? Because you mentioned you do a little bit, but do you guys work with photographers to help you to understand this process a little bit better and feed the AI with the proper data to understand this whole headshot photography from much broader perspective?
Well, like we have a domain expertise in our team.
Hmm.
We our this AI expertise.
Okay.
Yes, we sort of working with them. However, we are still, bootstrapped all the things so far, and we are looking forward to working and collaborating with a lot of photographers so that we can learn from them. We can improve the AI models because this is the futures.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, my final question. So there's two parts of it. One is, what's the future of your company? Where are you guys going? What's the direction? And the second thing, what I would like to ask you and give a little bit answer to photographers who are scared of what are you guys doing. What would you tell to them to kind of convince them, or kind of, I don't know, say basically share something that they're not going to be terrified of what are you guys doing?
Uh, the first question is we're doing really great. People loving
Mhm.
this tool, especially content creators are loving this tool because they used to spend a lot of photos. They used to use all the old photos, and now
Mhm.
they are seeing 60% more engagement on their socials media, including
Mhm.
LinkedIn, on YouTube. So it feels really great as a builders. Um, because we see that we are really creating a great impact on the society, great impact on the creators' economy. Um,
Mhm.
and the people who are terrified about AI in general, I would say they shouldn't, because
Mhm.
AI is a thing that they have to adapt. If they don't adapt this tool or this AI, or any sort of AI, they will be left behind, because the
Mhm.
people who will be using AI, they will be the people who will be leading this industry or any other industry. So they should
Mhm.
adapt, they should be more open. And AI is creating a new opportunity, new verticals. They shouldn't afraid of it.
Absolutely. Nafis, thank you so much for this conversation. I think it's going to be eye-opener for a lot of people and photographers out there. I'm glad we could talk about it so openly, and we could share some thoughts, some ideas, some kind of way we're looking at this whole thing. So I truly appreciated your time. And I what I would like to suggest in the near future, I would love to talk to you again,
Mhm.
because as you said, this whole AI model is developing fairly quickly, and I would like to kind of also keep up with what's happening, and if there's some new developments or there's new kind of things which coming to the place, and then so I have a little bit of more understanding of this. So maybe what we can do within the next several months, we'll set up another quick podcast, and then you will give me some updates on what's happening with the development of what you guys doing, because I'm based on what you showed me, it's pretty amazing. I think we are on the right, you guys are also on the right track. People take advantage of it, and then especially I think also, as you said, I 100% agree with you that we're living in a world where you know we need photos, like we need new
Yeah,
stuff constantly.
yeah,
It's not like you take one picture and you're done. It seems like we need them constantly, and having that kind of tool which can give us variety of different options, it's a fantastic tool to help us with everything what we do.
yeah, yeah. Completely agree. Thanks for having me, Rafal. It was really, really nice to have a talk with you, and it's my pleasures. And yeah, I really, really love that you invited me, and you wanna have these conversations from the photographer point of view. I really, really appreciate that. Because I also found there's a lot of photographers out there. They're also talking about this AI photography, but they are somehow, you know, like very close not to adapt this technology. But I very hope that our conversations will help them to be more open and adapt the AI, because
Absolutely.
this is the pictures, and if they don't adapt, if they don't, keep updated with up to date with these AI tools and whatnot, they will be left behind. So for
Yes,
them,
100%.
my advice is to like adopt new tools, explore new tools. If that is helpful, use it, because this is the tool that will gonna define our next world.
Absolutely, 100%. I also gonna add all the information about how they can check check their website. Maybe we can also provide some, I don't know, discount codes if someone wants
Yeah,
to
sure.
join it and test it. We can definitely do that. Also, if you don't mind, I will definitely put your informations, well, not your informations, but like somehow people can reach out to you guys, photographers,
Mhm.
because that's where the
Mhm.
podcast is directed. And if they want to, I don't know, ask questions or raise some concerns, or they want to talk to you guys directly, I think it's important to have that conversation back and forth. So I'm sure there will be a lot of questions after this. Like I'm guessing there will be a lot of discussion, which I'm open to and I'm looking forward. So thank you again. That was really pleasure talking to you. And as I said, I would love to talk to you in the near future and see where this whole thing is going.
Awesome, awesome. I'm also looking forward to it. Okay, so I think I will take one more photos with you, because I also will promote on my social
Sure.
media. If you don't mind. Okay, so
Absolutely.
okay, awesome.
All done.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so let
It
me
was a really great conversations with you. Wow. Awesome.
end this, and we'll wrap it up after when we play this close videos. Okay, so let's everyone, goodbye. Thank you for watching this. I truly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, any concerns, please put all these questions in the descriptions of this video, and I'll be more than happy to either contact you with Nafis, or we can have a chat about this topic even further down. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.